Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Pixel Gadget here. I'm a game designer, and welcome to a brand new series of game designer plays. I've decided to shift away from boomer shooters and go more towards games that are similar to the game I'm making right now, which is basically a Call of Duty Zombies clone. And so I thought, what better game to start analyzing FPS design and this whole thing would be the original Call of Duty World at War, Nacht der Untoten, which is German for Night of the Undead, or Night of the Dead, or something like that. And I'm actually really excited to analyze this because this specific subgenre of like zombies, clones, wave survival games are definitely, there's a lot of design stuff going on that you may or may not be aware of. It's kind of amazing. I'm like, in preparation for this video, I've been like taking notes and stuff. Oh, here I need to get my FOV thing fixed. So there's an FOV. You have to use a special thing called COD FOV. It's an open source program to get that nice 90 FOV. Ain't no way I'm playing it that low FOV. I've always been an FOV junkie. I love high FOV in my games. Anyway, so drop into the legendary Nacht der Untoten. The first thing I'm noticing, and you guys are gonna like, you know, you're gonna, I'm like a broken record, but the lighting is very interesting. So there's that flashing light right there on that one, like each, almost like all of the, see there's like, it's like casting onto this wall, right? So there's lots of lights in important areas, like pretty much all of the areas where zombies can enter the room, there's light sources. So there's a light casting out of this one over there, and then there's flickering lights by the two doors you can purchase. I also want to say this, I really like this intro area because there's like contrast of space. So like this side of the map, the ceiling is completely blown open and open, and then it's closed on the other side. So there's kind of contrast within this little area of just space, of how space is shown. I think that's really cool. There's going to be a lot to cover, and so I'm not sure how long I'm going to be talking. But basically, when it comes to a COD Zombies map, I'm like trying to figure out how do you even analyze this kind of game, because how do you even talk about this? So I'm figuring it out as we go, so bear with me. But basically, what I'm noticing is the core question of any COD zombie, or like the core loop, is always kill zombies, get points, buy guns, open doors, and then kill more zombies, repeat. And it's all about meaningful choices, right? So in this starting room, there's some meaningful choices going on. Like, actually a lot of meaningful choices. The first one that I noticed just as a veteran, like I've been playing COD Zombies my whole life, basically. And this was the first map I played as like a 13-year-old child. So yeah, this map is nostalgic as hell. And the first thing is the points economy. Like, how do you kill the enemies? Obviously, any COD veteran knows you either shoot them a couple times and knife them on the first round, or you knife them. I just knife them to save ammo. And if you're really like optimizing, you let them into the area, because then they can drop the kind of power-up things like max ammo, nuke. Mainly you're looking for max ammo, insta-kill, carpenter. Those are like so you want to actually, if you're tryharding, like let them in. So these are all choices that the player has to make, and I think it's really cool how I almost died there. I actually don't get that far in this playthrough, but I do get to see the whole map, so that's pretty cool. Another choice is like what gun to buy. So there's the Kar9AK and there's the M1A1 carbine. They play very differently. They have different costs. I think the Kar9AK is like 300 points and this one's 600, so there's like choices there. I have never bought this door in my life up the stairs, and if you're a veteran, you know why, but I decided to open it in this playthrough just for fun. I also wanted to talk about the theme of this map. So, obviously, it's German for Night of the Undead, or Night of the Dead, or whatever, which is a reference to the first ever zombie movie ever made, Night of the Walking Dead. I remember watching it as a kid and being actually terrified. Like, for some reason, that movie was creepier than modern horror movies, if you've ever seen it, you know. Anyways, so like the color palette, the big full moon, like when I say color palette, I mean like lack of color palette. It's basically, this level is basically black and white besides the kind of yellow lights coming off of the zombies. And that's another contrast thing, right? I love the zombie design, this classic zombie design of the glowing yellow eyes. How you've got this relatively dark environment and how the yellow eyes just pop right out of there. And there's really not a lot of yellow in the environment at all. So it pops really well. And that's the key to contrast. Here's me just like point farming, trying to get as many points as I can. I really did try hard, but yeah, I haven't played this map in a long time, so I died pretty early actually, which is pretty tragic. I wanted to show you guys how like amazing I am in this game, and it turns out just got like really quickly two-tapped later on here. Major bummer. There's so many cool choices, like when a power-up drops, like this nuke drops and I'm given the choice, do I want to use it or not? Well, it's like, no, I want to kill the zombies to get more points, because I realize in this version of the game, the nuke doesn't give any points. Like in Black Ops, it gives 400 points, right? Well, this one it doesn't, so it's like kind of worthless to me. The next choice is obviously like, which door do you buy with your points? So I think what's really this map is doing really well is there's a lot of meaningful choices to be made in the kind of survival struggle. And I also never noticed that the couch goes to the roof and then disappears. Never noticed that as a child playing. Never noticed that. So I tried to explore the whole map. I remember not really knowing what that cabinet was as a kid, and I never opened it, so I opened it in this one and find out why I never opened it, because it's like pretty useless. Weird lag there, I don't know. Strange. There's the mystery box is basically the coolest aspect of the economy design, right? It's the ultimate risk reward slot machine. Do you risk the money, or do you just go with the safe wall buy? And it's also significant that the mystery box like shows you the kinds of guns you may or may not get. So you'll see the ray gun because it's visually distinct by color and shape from all the other guns. So imagine you're like, you know, playing this game for the first time. That was kind of another like attempt at mystery and like risk reward. It's like, what's in this cabinet? Find out. And it's a Car-9 AK scoped, and I think this one does like more damage. I'm pretty sure it also has a different reload animation than the one downstairs in the starting room. So for whatever reason, this one does way more damage, I think. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it does. So that's another risk reward thing. Obviously this kind of mystery like cabinet, sniper cabinet thing has not made it into future games, and I think because yeah, it's just generally you want the player to have some kind of information about what they're spending. Like, in order for a risk to be like a good risk, there has to be at least some information about what is going to happen. Like, the player needs to have some expectation of worst case scenario, best case scenario. Here's another meaningful choice. These drops really create a lot of very interesting gameplay situations where I'm like, well, I'm not going to pick this up yet because there's no zombies around, and I want to get the most points for my buck. That was a little glitch there. It said 1,500 points, but actually 1,200. Thompson feels so good in this game. One thing I noticed when I pick up the Thompson is the kind of headshot sound effect. It's almost like this, I think of like a melon, but I don't know what that sound effect is at all. Let's see if you can hear that. Listen to this. It's like this crackling, kind of cracking sound effect. I have no idea what it is, but that is legendary, and I never thought about that, and that's kind of why I love doing this series, talking about game design, because I bring to your attention the elements of these games that we just don't notice because we're gamers and we're just trying to make the numbers go up and stuff. We don't really think about how the designers made sure the game would be engaging and all the layers to it. There's so many layers. Another meaningful choice is those explosive barrels. That obviously that design thing didn't make it to later games just because, it's not really a great, like, it's definitely a choice. But I just find most of the time at this point in the game, when the game's actually a challenge, I'm defending it inside. Like, the zombies are getting behind the barricades. Like, the barricades are just a suggestion past round 5, you know? But if there were explosive barrels in the actual map, I think that would be a more meaningful choice, for me at least. But yeah, the headshot feedback and just the feedback of shooting these zombies feels so good. It feels amazing, like just the bits of them flying off, the headshot where they just like their head just jibs, and it's like very satisfying, even for who knows when this game was made, like 2007. It's crazy that they were already doing all this really good game feel stuff. Almost got the ray gun there, but got an equally very good gun. I find that this level is so iconic because of its minimalism. It's really, like, there it goes again. The couch goes to the roof. Never noticed that. And then there's some, like, cool writing on the wall. It says, "You must ascend from darkness," which reminds me of Black Ops 1 campaign. I guess that's been a theme in these kind of Treyarch games, Activision games. I don't know. But yeah, this map is perfect because it's so minimal and small, and like the choices you make feel more meaningful because it's like A or B most of the time. It's like, do you do it or do you not do it? You're rarely given a multiple, and the times you are given multiple choices, it's like, well, where do you plan on surviving? Where do you plan on going? And I thought this room was perfect, and I aim here, and then something hits. Where? My question is, where did that guy come from? I need to know. He must have come from that door over there. Yeah, he must. But where? There's literally no one there. Yeah, wait a minute. Like, seriously, I was certain there was no zombies. Look, there's no zombies behind me. Nothing. And then I turn around, and something double taps me. It was like, what? So I'm just saying, the game glitched. I was killing it. I was literally killing it, dude. And the zombie glitched. There's no way, dude. There's no way. You saw. Okay, I'm glad I reviewed the footage. Oh, man. I think it's really cool how one of the cool choices is behind that first door, the one you always go to, it's like the mystery box and the Thompson and the shotgun and the double barrel shotgun. So there's a lot of cool things to buy there. And then if you go up the stairs, you've got the BAR, the shotgun, and the kind of a similar mystery box with the bolt action rifle. So there's only like 3 rooms total on the whole map, right? Only 3 doors in the whole map, and yet this decision feels pretty significant. And there's a great use of verticality. Obviously, the map isn't totally flat. I like how there's a second floor. I like how if you get to the second floor really early, you can shoot down on all the zombies in the starting area that are coming. Kind of a cool strat. Obviously, for the veteran, we know that that's kind of pointless, and you just want to hoard them up and just train them in that one room where I died in. I was honestly gonna freaking survive in there forever, but no, the game had to like literally spawn in a ghost zombie to kill me. Crazy. So yeah, this thing's glitchy as heck, and I can't believe they killed me like that. They had to do me dirty like that. Ridiculous. But yeah, this game is a little janky. I definitely would like to play the original, the remake for Black Ops 1 of Nacht for maybe my next video, but I just wanted to play the original for this kind of Inception video. I want to play a lot of the zombies maps in games. Like, I want to review and analyze all the maps for World at War, and then for Black Ops. Black Ops is my favorite. That's like so good. Just, that's what inspired my game Doomsday Sector a lot. And I'm gonna, but before I end the video, I'll talk about that game I'm working on, because yeah, if you like Call of Duty Zombies, you're gonna love my video game that I'm working on. So I think I've covered a lot of the core elements that I wanted to talk about in this video. Obviously, it feels like there's a million things to talk about, but fundamentally, I've covered the core of it, where Zombies is all about asking the question, like, what significant choices is the player making? So we're not only asking what makes Nacht der Untoten so awesome, but like what makes a good zombies map? What makes zombies itself awesome compared to other games? Oh, there was something I wanted to talk about. Just from a game design perspective and also like kind of game dev perspective, zombies is such a cool formula because the way the player moves through the level is kind of gated by this economy, this points economy. And a lot of games from this time period and even today, the player isn't limited in that way. They can move through the map pretty much as they want as long as the enemies don't kill them. So maybe you've seen like speedrunners who just run past all the enemies because the enemies don't actually do enough damage to stop you, but most players do stop and try to kill all the enemies just because they think it's what they're supposed to do. And it is, but they don't actually have to if they don't want to. They could just run past all the enemies in a lot of FPS games. But this game has a very interesting, like, kind of gatekeeping, whatever mechanic where there's these points, and you kill the zombies, get the points, and then you have the choice of how you want to spend your points. And one of those choices is how you're going to move through the level, how you're going to progress through the level. So I think one of the aspects of the design is how zombies maps are split into rooms. Everybody knows this, but usually I've always traditionally thought of zombies maps as a whole, and I've never thought about its parts because I'm always thinking about, well, when I open all the doors, it turns into this giant map. So I think that's the coolest part about Call of Duty Zombies, especially this first map, how the fundamental way the game level layout plays changes as you go. As you open more doors, like there's risk reward to it. You've got more zombies coming in, so you basically, the more doors you open, it like becomes hopeless of keeping them out. You're gonna have to just let them in and hope to train them and kill them while they're inside the defenses. So that's like, you know, every COD Zombie player knows that happens eventually with these maps. Like, you just give up on defending the barricades. But the barricades are also a really cool mechanic and part of that risk reward where it's like you're defending, and we talked about that. Do you let them in so there's a more likelihood of them dropping the power-ups or whatever, because if they're outside of the barricade, they can't drop the power-ups. I don't know the mathematics behind all that. Here's some epic quick scoping action. I'm so goated. And there was one other thing I wanted to mention, but I cannot remember. Definitely a little scatterbrained this morning. You know, a lot of stuff's been happening in my universe, and but I'm grateful that the channel is here for me to kind of talk about what I love, game design and FPS, and specifically wave survival stuff. I just wanted to tell everyone that I know I've kind of started the channel playing like boomer shooters and stuff, but I really want to shift the channel like focus. It's still FPS focused. Like, I'll always be able to learn something from pretty much any FPS game, but I really want to focus on Call of Duty Zombies and similar games. There's some really cool indie games that copy the Zombies formula that I really want to check out. One's like Skur Ritual and a couple others. There's a couple of them. But I do want to play these original Call of Duty games first. And I feel kind of bad moving away from indie games because the games I've played in the past have been indie games, and I like to play indie games just because I feel like it's more relatable to me because I'm an indie developer, and so I can kind of see their process better. Obviously, with a game like this, it was made by like a huge team of people, big budget. It's harder for me to talk about the game feel and stuff because everyone's come to expect, yeah, the game feels awesome. I mean, the reload animations are great. The sound effects are great. I wanted to point out the kind of legendary COD Zombies sound effect for repairing barricades. Just that classic cha-ching sound effect. I love that. I love how they balance this game, this original, like, Nacht der Untoten, the original, it perfectly balanced this kind of arcadey vibe without sacrificing this kind of gritty on-the-ground shooter that's honestly terrifying. I used to be terrified of this map, and I still kind of am, especially after that ghost zombie freaking, you know, phase through the wall and double tap me. Like, that was so unlucky. I thought I just sucked at this map, But no, I got cheated, straight up cheated by this game. Hopefully the later maps are better. And yeah, basically, I'm really glad you watched the video. I hope you got something useful from this. I love Call of Duty Zombies. I've played it my whole life, and I'm really excited to start playing it for the channel. Because to be honest, I kind of wasn't really enjoying the boomer shooters as much, especially as time has gone on. I'm just feeling like this just isn't me. You know, I really do like the repetitive, grindy COD Zombies gameplay. Yeah, maybe I'm not the most intelligent or deep thinker player ever. I really am not. I've always been kind of like just run and gun, just wanting to shoot hordes of zombies, make numbers go up. Like, that's just always been my thing. I don't like gameplay that's too complicated. That's one thing about Ultra Kill that's kind of melting my brain lately. And to anyone who's really been enjoying the Ultra Kill series, I am ending the series. I really feel terrible about it because so many people are like, this is the best series ever. But the truth is, I'm really not enjoying it that much. And I want to move to games that, first of all, are more similar to the game I'm making so I can attract players who will probably like my game. Because I'm realizing that, yeah, the people who play Ultra Kill probably won't enjoy my game. Because my game is, it's COD Zombies. It's very repetitive. It's mechanically quite simple, generally speaking. Compared to Ultra Kill, it's like, yeah, it's very infantile. Ultra Kill is like, you know, you need a PhD to play that game. Look at this. Instant replay. Oh, is the zombie coming from the... No, look, wait. I literally... Wait. No, the hole in the wall is blocked up. Do you think that's where he comes from? Maybe? Yeah. Maybe that's where the zombie... No, there's no one... Wait. There's literally no one there. And then boom! Dude, this is a conspiracy. This is a conspiracy. Where did this dude come from? Legit, where did he come? He phased through the wall. Okay, never turn your back on literally anything. Like, never aim down sights. Always be moving, because this game is glitched, okay? Nacht der Untoten. I love you, Nacht der Untoten, but you're a glitchy mess, and honestly, I don't think I'm going to play it again in World at War. If we play it again, it'll be probably the Black Ops remake, which hopefully zombies won't be phasing through walls. Okay. Thank you again for watching. I really hope you enjoyed and maybe learned something about game design, FPS design, that kind of thing. If you like Call of Duty Zombies, especially classic COD Zombies like World at War and Black Ops 1, then you will love the indie game I'm making right now called Doomsday Sector. I'm going to put up some of the gameplay right now. I've taken all the elements that I know and love from Call of Duty Zombies and distilled it into my own vision. And I've added some really cool, like, upgrade systems and very deep, honestly, like, upgrade, like, loadouts and ways to play. Like, there's lots of different ways to play and tons of guns. There's, like, 26 guns in the game right now, and spanning from machine guns, pistols, shotguns, explosives, even a wonder weapon. So if you like these kinds of games, you should definitely go check out my game. And just know the Steam page is like 3 years old. The actual game is looking way better nowadays, but I need to update all that. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this kind of new direction the channel's going in, more towards wave survival, arena-style arcadey games. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Farewell.